All right, all right. Welcome everybody to Tech Tuesday. Come on in, come on in. Let me let some more people in. Michael, you're here. Michael, you signed on like early.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
good.
I'm excited.
Awesome. All right. Michael Richmond's in the house. Carolyn, welcome. Jeff's in the
Thank you. Thank
house.
you.
Come on in. All right. Robert, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Robert does some amazing jewelry, by the way. If you guys need to commission a piece, do you take commissions, Robert?
I do. That's a large part of my business these days, is doing commission work.
Nice. Nice.
I mean, I make stuff to sell, but where I make my money really is doing custom pieces for people and
Wow.
organizations and stuff like that. So,
Very good. Very good. Drop your link in the chat if you've got a business website link.
sure.
Anybody wants to get a hold of you, man, you got to reach out. I looked at some of your stuff. It was beautiful. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Jeff's in the house. We're going to be, Jeff is a partner of mine and we're developing software together. Jeff is much more into the tech than I am and the development. So welcome, Jeff. We're going to share some of the repurposer today. And I started a new repurposer account just to show you guys how to repurpose the work and the transcripts and the content you already have. You don't have to create new. You can just repurpose it and put it on your website. And this is going to help. You can repurpose it into an email. You can repurpose it into social media posts. And man, technology has come so far. A lot of us get writer's block and we don't know, how do I turn this into something that's actually valuable to others and that I can reuse over and over. Like if you do a video, like this video call today, we could turn it into, let's say, 3 blog posts, have little different angles, or 3 emails that we could send out during the week. And I just might do that and say, hey, this is what we talked about today. And this is what you might think about doing for your own business or your own ministry. You could have an interview style call, and then you could take some takeaways from that and then talk about it. So that content's already there, and then drop links back to your ministry page or your business page back to that. Super cool. So I want to show you some strategies about that today. So fantastic. Jeff, you want to see? It's going to be good. Awesome. All right. Thanks, Robert, for dropping that in there. Okay, so let's just take a poll here. Welcome, guys, and Shannon, and drop a 1 in the comment if you have a website already. Because we always talk about on the Tech Tuesday calls is that you get to get your message out. A lot of us aren't being able to reach the people that we want to serve, whether through business or through our ministry, simply because we're invisible. We're basically invisible online. If we don't have a website, the website's the cornerstone, and we certainly have our other assets, and such as a Facebook page for our ministry or business, and Instagram, etc. So drop a 1 in the comments if you have. John saying the link doesn't work. Okay, if you have so you would have to just take a screenshot maybe of that. There, John, that might help. And okay, welcome in. And then, so you've got a website. Okay, there you go. He's got the spelling corrected. So good. So you've got a website, and how many of you still have a website to create? Drop a 3 in the comments if you're still setting up either a business website or a ministry website. You've got one that's like, hey, this is my project for this summer. I need to get it started. Carolyn's got one. Robert's got one. Okay, so a couple of you guys still have a website to create. So what I want you to do is to be educated. Like, what are the right questions I need to ask? And then how do I do this faster and with a much less expense, because some of us, our ministry budgets are very, very small. Our business budgets may be larger, and maybe we're funding some of our ministry from our businesses, etc. So we want to be as efficient and good stewards with the dollars that we have. And so this is why I give this free training on Tuesdays now. And a lot of you have asked for it. And I thought, all right, let's do it. And then we did our encore evening session the other day, and then we had people show up to that. I didn't know if anybody would come, and a couple people asked, and so we're doing twice a day on Tuesday. So Tech Tuesday, if you want to go into some other things deeper on Tuesday night, it's 7 p.m. Central Tuesday night. So come on in. Awesome. Okay, so we've got some websites still to create. So now when we're thinking about website, what do we need first? What we need first is, do we have a clear written mission statement and vision statement? Have we created something, clearly we understand what is the goal of the business or the program or the ministry overarching? And if you've written your business statement or mission statement for your business or ministry, drop a 5 in the comments. If you've got a written clear vision statement, what you see the future, like what's going to happen in the future when you do your work, what's going to happen. That's your vision statement. How you get there, your mission statement, what you do, that's your mission statement. And if you've written that for your ministry or business, you've got experience in that, drop a 5 in the comments. So, okay. A few of you got that. Good. So that is getting started. Now, some of you haven't responded that you've created one, and within our Trailblazer Toolbox, which is part of the King's Pro Tools, we have the free mission statement generator, and I'm going to take you there because we have to be able to say in writing what we do. That's a web page. It's just written out content and some pictures about what we do and the transformation we bring. So let's do that first. If you've not started or have your mission statement generated, let's get that started first. So let us go to, I'll open up a new browser, and I'm going to go to Trailblazer Toolbox. Trailblazertoolbox.com is our new website that I'm putting all our micro SaaS products, all our little small softwares that are going to help you develop your messaging and your content and your photos and things like that. So I'll share my screen and let you look at this here real quick. So just so you know, because my goal as a trail guide is to help you. I've gone before, I've created softwares, and to help you have things that are much easier. So here's welcome to the Trailblazer Toolbox, an ever expanding list of King's Pro tools. This is what we're building. Step 3 are these free tools, and this is where you write your mission statement. So go to the mission statement generator. We're going to log in here. It's just name and email. It's free on this part here. So just write in what your organization name is, and then ABC ministry, and then describe what you do. And this mission statement generator is going to give you a mission statement, your core values from the actual statement, and strategic goals, what you could be shooting for. If your goal is to feed the hungry in town as a religious organization, your goals could be, hey, we want to feed 100 families in town every month or every year. It'll give you some strategic goals. It'll give you a 1-sentence vision statement, expanded vision statement, and then some ideas on how technology could help you fulfill your mission. Once you do that, it will give you a doc to output. And let me stop sharing for a minute. Is there anyone here that would be interested in seeing how this works in real life? Because I can create it. I'll just do it for our ministry. Let's say our Divine Alliance ministry. Okay, Rose, yes? Okay, 2 minutes. Let's create a mission statement. So I'm going to go to our Divine Alliance. I'll share my screen. So if you have content somewhere, could be your webpage, you can simply go to this mission statement generator. So just you're going to log into trailblazertoolbox.com. It'll redirect you here to King's Pro Tools, and then go to mission statement generator. And then let's just do this. Divine Alliance International. And let's describe what the organization is. I can go here and as easily as here's a brief description of what we do on our ministry. And I can come down here and I can get some of this content. We bring gospel, fresh water, that kind of thing. And so you can look at this website as an example if you want to see what a very simple website is for a ministry. Go there. And then, so as easy as that, I've got some text, and then now I'm going to, and so you can drag this down to take a look at, okay, what have I pasted in here? Okay, become a partner. It sees that. So now let's just type this in. Let's call it nonprofit. And then I'll put my name in here. Okay, and then so I've got those fields filled out. Now I'm going to generate these business statement assets. So this is going to be valuable. Watch this. It's generating that, and this is connected to AI. It's all coded up. It's incredible to have some software that will do this, and we're super blessed to have been learning this, and Jeff has helped us with a lot, and it's just incredible. This is going to give us an output here. So look at this. All right, business statement. So the mission statement: Divine Alliance International is dedicated to transforming lives in Kenya by providing clean water, healthcare, education, and sharing the gospel. We aim to bring hope and lasting change to communities, focusing on efficient solutions to the water crisis, etc. Yeah, today I was just setting up to do an update. We finally got funding for the water pump. We brought utility power on campus last month, and now we have a partner that donated to sponsor the water pump, and to have that powered by utility power 24/7. So that's exciting. So this is what we do. Core values: compassionate care, spiritual outreach. It kind of picks that up: education and empowerment, enhancing lives through learning. So it's going to pull some things from that. And this is called cascading logic when you're building this. So now it says, okay, I understand that. Now, what would be strategic goals based on that? So increase access to clean water in rural Kenyan communities, or in your community, downtown San Diego, or wherever it is, or Orlando, whatever you're doing. It's going to pick that up. And then here's a one-sentence vision statement that you want to use as a starter, to help you create your little elevator pitch: powering Kenyan communities toward a brighter future with clean water, healthcare, education, and spiritual upliftment through collective action and faith. So that is powerful. And then it gives you a nice longer vision statement. All of this is what you're going to have on your homepage, something similar. You're going to use that to guide what you're putting on your homepage and your about page and your services or donation page. How technology could help you create a website for your mission. That's a good one. Implement a CRM. That's for sure. You can use King's Contact Pro, our software, if you'd like. And it gives you some look at drone technology for water source mapping. How cool is that? That'd be great technology. So now you can go down here and you can copy this entire text, and it will give you everything you need to paste into a Google Doc. And then so copy plain text output, copy it into a Google Doc, and then start working with that and editing it. So I'll stop my share. Let me know, drop a 7 in the comments if that was helpful to see how to do that. Because we want to have, instead of just staring at a blank page, your vision and your mission gets to be clear, and then now you get to transfer that content onto your web page. So is that helpful? All right, good. Can you share a link? Could somebody put trailblazertoolbox.com in the chat? Trailblazer toolbox, all one word, .com. So Any questions around setting up your mission statement? Because this is the core of your online presence. What message are you trying to get out there to the world? Does anybody want to? Thank you, Robert. Perfect. Anybody want to ask a question around that? Or how do you apply it to your website? All right. You can raise your hand if you want, or just unmute here. This is open. We can have a conversation around this kind of things. Okay. So now, does that make sense? Does having your mission written out and your vision statement written out make sense on why that's important to have on your website? Thumbs up. Yep. All right. So now we can go from there. We can say, all right, what is my core message? That's my mission statement. I have a core message. I've got core values. And then now the other thing that we want to add value to the marketplace as a business or the people we're serving is we have a YouTube channel. So how do you get that up and running and optimized? So the YouTube channel that we have a Divine Alliance ministry YouTube channel. And let me go to that here. And then if we were to repurpose and build some assets like emails or a blog or content around that, what would that be like? And why is that important? We've talked about it in past sessions before, but there's a reason for it. There's a reason that's important for a ministry or business to have a website and a YouTube channel. If somebody knows that, why those two things are important, unmute and talk about it or ask me why, because we'll share this here. Why would you think it's important for?
We have a YouTube channel on with our website, and let me change that around. Yeah, and basically what they've got is a larger audience than we have. Yeah. So I'm producing, sermon series on there, as well as our training courses, because at the Principal Truth, we are trying to educate people in the far reaches where they can't get to a Bible college, they can't learn how to pastor, they can't learn how to Bible teach, they can't learn how to evangelize. So we have training courses that we're offering there for these individuals free of charge. And we can do it through AI in multiple languages.
Yeah.
So with YouTube, when we're publishing sermons and concept ideas of what we're creating, we're finding a larger audience that we hope will respond to, our mission.
Absolutely. And then are you currently bringing like subscribers? Do you have a mechanism or a lead magnet or a link they can click that brings them into your email system, your CRM?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What do you do? What is your, we call it lead magnet? What is your freebie? How do you collect?
The website was developed with Squarespace.
Mm-hmm.
It's a what you see, what you get type of situation, but they have a lot of tools for SEO. They have tools for blogging. They have tools for people who want to purchase. You can tie it to Stripe. And basically with that, we're offering books as well. But it also then has a membership routine that we can employ. So for me, it's been kind of a one situation where with Squarespace, we can kind of learn our way through with YouTube how to use that particular section, such as, let's say, how do I tie up with Stripe to be able to, for people to pay money in. And of course, we had to learn that little routine. Now we've got it in the system.
Yeah. How do you collect? What is your method for collecting a name and an email through your free offered, or do you have a newsletter that you're doing? I was working with one of our ministry leaders that just subscribed to our software, King's Contact Pro, and we're setting up their newsletter sign-in form. What do you do? Do you have a newsletter as the free offer to collect name and email, or what do you do for free for just to start collecting?
What we're doing for free is we use something called Hazine, which creates books that we produce, and some type of interesting Bible topic that they want to know about. Like the one is how to explain time and eternity in God's perspective. We put that up as a digital book that they can read. And on the front page and on YouTube, we promote the free book that they can get. It doesn't cost us anything once we've got that put up, because then they can simply do a free download of that and read it on any digital media as a result of that.
Perfect. And let me talk about that. And that's what's important about your website. You get an online presence, but the goal is that that website is working for you 24/7, and you don't have to answer phone calls or email back, but you have a mechanism for them, or a reason for them to trade their name and email. Your free offer, we always say it should be worth $50, for them to give up their information, and like they're risking spam. They're like, we don't spam, but they're risking, they don't know. And, but they're like, okay, well, let me just at least get this asset, get this thing that's going to help me with, answer questions around XYZ. So all of us get to do that. It's super powerful.
If anyone wants to see how that works, just go to the Principal Truth, theprincipaltruth.com, and you'll see there that we've got the free offer for the book. And when they sign up for the book, then we capture their name and email. We don't get a lot of information, just basic.
Yeah. And some people just say, hey, just leave it with the email. You might get more signups. Some people say, hey, just first name and email. We have our free ebook for Destiny 508, called Ministry Freedom, and that is name, email, and phone number, because in our system it takes maybe a month or more to get it set up with all the phone carriers, but you can get texting permission if you have an EIN, and then you can text people out and set up through our program with King's Contact Pro. And that's what we've been using for 6 years. So do that. So you guys think of this, what you could do to solve one problem for your audience. And with us, with ministries, we have two audiences. We have the in need audience that we're looking to serve and bless, and our donors are wanting to serve and bless through us to them. And then we have our partnerships, people that are sponsoring the work, with their dollars. So we want a ministry website that represents that well. About that. Thanks, Michael. And so this is super good. This is super important. So I'm glad you brought that up. And that's why we offered, and we were asked by a few people, say, hey, we want your professional level CRM. Is there any way we could get that? And we're just, because we have several programs going here, but God says, yeah, it's time to now set up King's Contact Pro publicly, for our ministry leaders. And that's what we're doing with that. So if you do need help with a system like King's Contact Pro, we can help you. Just text us or reach out or use the link that we gave you. But that's powerful. I want to show you what we did with our YouTube channel and the power of having a YouTube channel and then now repurposing what's already in there. So have any of you subscribed to Repurposer 9000 yet on this call? Michael, you have. So, all right, you've already been through it. And what's that been like? Have you been able to do a video or two?
I've been working with it right now. I've got other programs that run on similar veins. So I haven't really mastered all its capability right now, but because we do use AI for a lot of our stuff we're putting together for training is created with an AI character. I've actually made a character of myself.
Yes.
And it's very, very realistic. That's HeyGen is the creator.
I've seen those are incredible. I haven't done that yet, but we've used AI to do a few other things.
HeyGen is the best one I've seen on of all the ones that are out there. But for creating content, particularly on the video side, there's a variety of ones out there. I've found a lot of good use out of HeyGen with that. But then you've got with the Repurposer, what I'm trying to figure out now is how we're going to integrate some of the content that we've got and able to make the use of it in the other area. Because we do have a blog, we do have video sections, we're building content on the website, and using that platform, hopefully,
Yeah.
to continue to attract people toward the mission. And,
You
you know,
will.
it's a slow run. It's a slow grind, but, you know, I was talking to a guy in church just Sunday, and I told him a little bit about it, and he was kind of like, "Oh, that's nice," and walked off. So not everybody jumps on the bandwagon,
No.
but you know,
We're very early adopters here.
yeah, you know, if
Yeah,
God's
that's
in
good.
it, then I figured, well, Lord, you know, it took Elijah a year in the ravine to figure out what's next, so I don't mind waiting.
Yeah, here we go. That is good. Let me share my screen and I'll show you what you could do with a video. So let's look at that. So Repurposer 9000 and the founder of it, Jeff, is on this call right now. And Jeff, if you want to chime in, you certainly can. This is a video that I did. This is looking at my website. This is a video that I did. Recorded this in Kenya. It is not, I'll just set my share screen settings so the audios work when I need to. So, okay, share. And then it doesn't have to be, man, we're able to serve over 1,000 people a day from this borehole water well. And I'll stop it there. And so from this URL, from this YouTube video, I have now started to repurpose that video right here. And I wanted to do that live with you. I've already downloaded the transcript. And so what you do is you simply go into Repurposer 9000, and it's a subscription. The first level is $19 a month. Really cool. Is you put that URL right here, drop it in there, and then download the transcript. From the transcript, it says, okay, I've got the transcript. Now let's repurpose it into multiple assets, into blogs, into social media, etc. So let's say the first thing I want to do, though, is to create SEO content to optimize the YouTube video itself. If I haven't done that yet, so let's generate some search engine optimization, which is keywords, etc. We're going to optimize that. That's SEO. All right. So that's saying, okay, we're gonna give you a great viral title, Beyond Digging: How a 600-Foot Well is Transforming a Community. That's a great name. And let's see here. So I've repurposed and optimized this video from Thirsty Land to Bottled Water, Our Journey to Self-Sustainability. So I've done this. And so I'm going to click the description. It gives me how a description to see how one deep borehole water well transformed an arid community. We drilled 613 feet to find pure water, etc. All right. So that's what you're doing with this. Use your title. Here's a description. I may want to, hey, I like this description better. We could test it. Witness how a massive 613-foot borehole water well is changing lives, right? So it's going to say what your mission says for your business, for your ministry. For each video that you have, you can optimize it. Now it's going to give you some relevant tags that you're going to put inside of it. The tags, they simply go, let me get you here. The tags will go, here's the same video, but the tags, this is inside your YouTube channel if you've not seen that yet. These are keyword phrases that become tags. And you can say, hey, I want people who like humanitarian things, I want them to see this, or Divine Alliance, or Graham Cook, or World Vision. I want them to see this. So that's where the tags go. So that is the SEO content. And then we can create our thumbnails. And here's a prompt to create a thumbnail. You can look at it and you can decide if you like it. That's our thumbnail that we generated from it. And then you can create a summary from the video. If you're like, okay, I just need a quick understanding of what this video is about. Let me create a summary. And then let's say I want a social media. I need some social media posts. So you click this button to generate some social media posts that help people, like let's say on your Twitter X profile, that help people come back to that YouTube video. Now it creates an engine. Now this is a content engine for you. So like this one says, over 1,000 people now have pure, clean water thanks to a 613-foot borehole. From ending long walks for water to future bottling plants and kiosks. See how this life-changing project is creating jobs and hope. Water is life, gives you the hashtags, and then it gives you the YouTube video. So that's that. So now what else can you do? It creates Facebook posts, etc. You can have all of that. Now, blog articles, let's generate a blog. And we can see, let's call this a, we'll let it just choose the name of the title and see what it comes up with. We'll let it choose, the AI choose the topics. Now this how-to guide, we can create a blog that's a how-to guide. We can also create a blog. We'll let that one work on it. And then we can also create a email here. So we're going to say, you choose the topics. We're going to have this as a newsletter, and the call to action, we can say, go to Divine Alliance International, and then I'll just put you choose what's there. It may know that. Generate blog. Let's see if we can close out of this. I got too many things running at the same time. Let me refresh. Back to repurpose. These other things popped it out. So here's a blog article. You can post this into yours. And then you can create automations that will actually take these blogs and push them into your King's Contact Pro blog area, your own account, and it'll populate it for you. So that's very, very powerful. So you can come up with summaries and notes, key takeaways, successful borehole drilling. In July, we did this. So just think of how this would help you in your ministry or business. So think of ways that you can repurpose what you've already done without creating new content. So if you think, I'll stop sharing. If you think that would help you and save you some time, drop a 9 in the comments. Because if we can have less time in the tech and more time out doing the mission, more people get reached. And then what we have online, our website and our ebooks and these free things are multipliers. They're multipliers that get to help us do more. So awesome. Hopefully that helped. Awesome, John. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll get there one step at a time. So Repurposer 9000. Let me see if I can grab my link here for you and give that. Yep, repurposer9000.com. Here's our affiliate link if you want to do that and support our work there as well. I'll put that in the chat and just click on it. But that'll get you up and running. That replaces almost like your entire content team. You know, people have, you know, sometimes 2 or 3 people on their content team creating blogs, creating emails, editing videos. For $19, you can save yourself hundreds of dollars a week actually by doing that. So I wanted to show that repurposer and see if there's any questions for me or our founder, Jeff, and how to use it and how you would maybe use that for what you're doing. So raise your hand if you have any questions. We'll open this up for a few questions here right now. If you've got some ideas, have you thought of repurposing your videos or your work before?
Yeah, I did have a question.
Go ahead.
I know that you have so many points that you can get each month with the repurposer. I think it was 2,000. And you know, as I do different things, some of them experimental, I chew down on that item there. So I get a little nervous or concerned that, you know, I'll run out of space with that. And so I know you can always go up to a higher level, but I was just kind of curious whether that 2,000 was going to be enough to kind of carry an active account through various things that you want to do in the program.
Yeah. Jeff, you want to talk to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Michael. That is a great question. I personally find myself running out of credits also. And so I literally, so I even went up like, what I'm going to do is, I do kind of like, because there's a cost, I try to keep it affordable. So it's like based off of that credit usage. Um, so that is kind of like that middle plan is kind of where I find myself. If you want to do like any of the like blog posting where you just post directly to your like King's Contact Pro tools, that has the Creative Lab, which is also where you can post the blog, and then that kind of gives you the enough credits that I don't find I'm running out, or I feel like I'm gonna like, oh no, So that's at the middle plan at the $50. Um, so that's where I've been doing. I kind of just wanted the $19 is like, okay, is this a tool that I'm willing to pay and willing to use? And then if so, do you feel like you're running out maybe even mid-month and you're like, oh man, that's not even enough to keep using? Or how do you feel with that, Michael?
Well, I guess I become stingy with this because I do have a lot of other tools that I can use. And so I can download a transcript, which is 50 credits. So I'm going to another tool to download that so I don't have to spend the 50 credits. And then I can do something else over here. But I find myself going to other areas where I've already got the service in there, and I'm paying bucks for that too.
Mm.
But I just didn't want to run it all out before I could explore everything I want to explore.
Absolutely. So what if I reduce the transcript download cost to maybe even like way less?
Yeah, I think that helped.
'Cause then you're using the transcript. Because if you're going to do another tool, well, dang, well, that defeats the purpose of using our software.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I've been doing my own processing up until this point anyhow. So I do have other services that I've
Mm.
learned and I'm comfortable with. And before I kind of jump over to something, and maybe drop that one off, I'm trying to get the feel for this. And so again, it's not a big deal. It's $19. But if I'm going to explore and really kind of power through it, then I find I'm watching the clock tick down, and I'm going, well, then I'm going to have to jump to something else if I run out of tools.
That makes so much sense. Okay.
And
All
some
right.
of the things you're just doing experimentally. So, this worked, it didn't work. I don't like it. I want to retry it again. So that, in my case, I've been duplicating cost because I'm just playing with it.
Mm. I see. Okay. Very interesting. So do you like the credit system, or is the credit system kind of working against us? That's kind of interesting. Like, I'm not sure if the credit system is the issue, or how will we fix this? Or is it more credits is the answer, or reducing the cost per credit?
I don't think the cost is the factor, but I do feel a little bit kind of under pressure because of the credits.
Mm.
I'd rather pay, $35 for the system and get, fundamentally, a broad usage of that. So I kind of feel like I've got the freedom to really do any stupid thing I want to try on it and see if it's going to work. And I'm not worried about, well, I just wasted, 500 points playing with that particular program.
Okay. Now let me ask you, if there was an unlimited credit package, would that be like, hey, if I could be on this plan for $50 unlimited credits, would that be like, yeah, no credits type thing, or would
I
that be
do
something?
think that, of course, my own opinion, but if it was $45, $50 and you had unlimited use and you found usability with that, then I could trim off some of the other stuff I'm doing over here and say, all right, I don't have to have these other tools. I can put it all here. So I'd feel a little more freedom to pay $35, $45 for something like an unlimited use, because I have a product that is HeyGen. And it's like $49, but I get immense use out of it on the unlimited package, and I love that particular AI process. So I'm tickled to death to pay the $49 a month.
Such valuable feedback, Michael. Thank you so much. I'm going to be watching anyone that purchases and goes through Todd's link. I'm going to be watching your guys' credits and making sure you guys don't run out. Okay. So I'll make sure just so please use it freely during this. Todd is actually, Todd is one that helped me come up with this idea to build this software. And so you guys are the ones that we are building this for. And so I definitely want to make it where you're able to explore and use it, because Todd really hasn't even shown. One of my favorite things about it is using something called custom prompts, so that you can play with it and you can experiment and you can make awesome things. And so I definitely don't want to limit the creative freedom, because that's probably the most fun about this whole thing in general. And so,
And the other thing I was going to mention is it'd be great to have some tutorials. Obviously, we're getting the benefit of this time together, but I was a little, concerned that I don't see any tutorials as to how to best use the SEO, how to do this, how to do that. So I'd love to see some tutorials on there. And the last thing I'll add is, classically, you get that free look period of time, and then if you like it, you pay for it. So if you're going to be at whatever figure you put it at, 49, at 39, 49, whatever you want to put it at, if you gave a free trial period, as many of these do, that's kind of the classic approach to a lot of these things, because I can have all these items, and if I have to front load them because, you got to pay for the year in order to get the better price, I feel locked into it. And if I don't like it, then, I feel cheated in some sense, that now I'm kind of locked into something on a year's package, and I'm not really happy with it, or I found something that's better and moved on to that.
And what, as a consumer, what feels like a good trial period for you?
Well, I would say 2 weeks at minimum.
Okay.
That way, and with the tutorials, you could really make use of the product in the, excuse me, better. That way, with the tutorials, along with, let's say, a 2-week, you go 30 days if you want, but then you could really kind of explore, figure this out. And then, of course, I think at that point, you bit into it already. So now you really want to keep that going for you. So that would be my thoughts.
Okay, absolutely. Well, here's what's cool is I like to basically add value over time. So end up now through Todd's link, essentially we might have a grandfather in price. And so you guys might be locked into whatever you guys get. And so I usually just increase the price as we go. So if you guys are knowing that this is a product that we're building together, and I'm listening to this feedback, I'm gonna implement this, Michael. So I appreciate you. And so we're just gonna keep making this better for you guys, making sure there's training, and making sure there's all these things in there for you guys, because I want you guys to have success. Todd is phenomenal with this, and so we want to make sure this is absolutely serving you guys best, building your guys' online business. So,
All right.
Can I weigh in on the tutorial stuff for a second?
please.
Yes.
So, a lot of times these tutorials kind of assume that you come to these things with a certain base of knowledge, if you will, about all this stuff. And I can tell you, I have none. I have no idea. Most of the stuff that you guys are talking about is like a foreign language to me, because I just don't know what it means, what it does, what kind of effects it has. How does that help me? Nothing. I know absolutely nothing about it. So from my perspective, it makes it a little bit more difficult to jump into it, because I don't even know what to do with it, even if I did jump into it. So to have some tutorials that explain not only what does this stuff do in plain English, explaining it from a perspective of somebody that has no knowledge, not from the perspective of somebody that has knowledge. But hey, this is what you can do with it. This is how it works. This is how it could benefit you. All those types of things for somebody that just, when it comes to technology and social media and all this kind of good stuff and funnels, and I don't know what all of it does. I don't know how it works together. I'm at a complete loss. So if that would be helpful for me, I would imagine it would be helpful for others.
Wow. Really, John, thank you so much. So essentially meeting it and teaching the tutorials of not everybody knows what all this is. So bringing it down to a level that everyone could understand
Yes.
and not assuming that you guys already have a channel set up. Like, why would you even need this? Because you could use this on stuff that's not necessarily your channel, and you could use
Right.
this to create content and new content. And so you might not even know that. And
Right.
having that, okay.
Right. So for example, you know, I'm trying to get my Instagram stuff going, but I have no idea how to even generate content. Is this tool usable for something like that? Or not? You know, does it help you to generate ideas, or does it use AI to help you create the post? Or, you know, do I have to have something first up front? It's called repurposer. So does that mean that I have to create something first and then repurpose it, or will this allow me to help create it in the first place?
Mhm.
So I don't know the.
That makes sense. So essentially, even essentially, can you use content or like come up with ideas that you never even made? But yes, but how to do that is where the tutorial could come in place.
Yes.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
going to be awesome. Okay, well, we're going to have a little tab on the left-hand side that's going to say tutorials, and that's going to be on my top list of that I get accomplished over the next week. So
Yeah.
I'll be making sure to add that stuff. So
Yeah.
And how to generate ideas.
and
Yeah.
how to generate
Starting out idea generation. And I've got something I'll show here. And just, do you guys mind if we go a few minutes longer? I usually schedule these for 45 minutes.
Don't mind it, but can I just say one last thing, just
Bet.
because I have it on my mind? It brought back to,
Please.
this is a long time ago, but I'm brought back to college in my speech class, and we had to write a speech from the perspective of somebody that had absolutely no idea about what it was that we were going to talk about, and give a step-by-step explanation of whatever it was. So, for example, mine was how to get from the classroom that we were in at the college to the cafeteria. And you had to write it from the perspective of, this person knows absolutely nothing about the college campus. They don't know what a cafeteria is. They don't know, you know what I mean? It's so, in other words, write it from that perspective. Don't assume that they know anything. And which may seem like, well, that's just kind of, you know, overkill to do a tutorial for that. I got to tell you, from my perspective, I've tried so many different tools, and I don't use any of them because I don't know what they do. I don't know what most of the terminology is, and you try to look it up, and the explanation again assumes that you have a base of knowledge. So I would just, you know, highly recommend, as you're going through these tutorials, assume they know absolutely nothing. Like, they don't even know what a computer is. They don't know what a cell phone is. Dumb it down, because for people like me, that's what I need.
Yeah.
If I can be any help to contribute to the conversation, I'm in the midst of all of doing this anyhow, so I could give you any feedback if you want to, you know, discuss it as well with somebody who's not quite next door.
Absolutely. Thank you. Jeff, I think something he said was important. Let's create a glossary of terms. I think that's good. And Robert mentioned, hey, let's give this a basic, this is where you start in plain language. Yeah, it's powerful. Thanks, guys. This is great.
It is. Thank you, guys.
I'm
Absolutely.
excited because this means that I can actually accomplish what I've been spending the last year trying to do, and didn't have a tool to do it because I didn't know what it was. So this gets me excited.
Heck yeah, John. This is awesome. And here's what's cool is when you start to use these tools together with King's Contact Pro, inside there's a social media scheduler. And so you're able to schedule your social media posts out. And so you're able to combine these two tools that Todd has built for us to be able to like really grow this. So it's like strategic. It's like, I'm all right. Like now I could plan everything. Now I could have series. I could actually talk about my emails and have a 7-day, 8-day email sequence based off of the knowledge that I actually want on my brand. And so the stuff that we're going to be able to provide for you guys, and my goal to be able to provide this training, what you just said is like, The training ultimately unlocks your ability to use the tools properly. The tools Todd and I know are amazing. We've been building our business with these. We know they're amazing, but if nobody else knows they're amazing because you can't even use them, well, then that defeats the purpose of us being excited. So we want to make it where you could use this properly. So you could just be excited as us, and then you could see your business grow. And that's the
Right.
goal.
Without the knowledge of how the tool works, it's like driving a sports car, never being able to get out of first gear. But once you have the
I've been there.
knowledge, once you have the
Yeah.
knowledge, now you can get into second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth gear, right? So the tool can be awesome, but if you don't know how to use it or what it's meant for,
John, I have to ask, why did you bring up sports car?
yeah.
Tell us why. Tell us what you do. I want to hear. Let people know.
So I'm very into cars, have been my whole life, but my ministry is to provide church services at the NASCAR race each week. So we will be,
Okay.
we're gearing up to launch at the beginning of the 2026 NASCAR season. And we should be at each NASCAR race. So we're in the fundraising stages, and so that's where we're at. So yeah, that's why my mind immediately goes to sports and cars.
Perfect.
Oh, that is amazing. Oh man. If you have a donation link or anything, John, I would love to drop it in the chat. That'd be cool to hit up.
Yeah, it's right now the only thing that we have set up is through Zelle. And you can find us on Zelle through giving@racewayrevival.com.
All right.
You put it in the chat. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's the email address to find us on Zelle.
Okay, thank you.
I love that. I didn't even know that's how you find people on Zelle.
Yeah, you can do it by either their cell phone number or their email address.
Wow.
And when I
Awesome.
set it up, I didn't have a phone for the ministry yet, so I had to use the email address.
There you go. Love it.
But yeah, and then the only problem with Zelle is they don't give you the information of they just give you the name of the person. They don't give you any contact information.
Yeah.
So fill out the form for the newsletter, and that way I have your name and email address so I can send you a donation receipt.
There you go.
So,
That's great. And that's why we teach. That's why we're doing these free trainings on Tuesdays to talk about that, because we get to have a website. It gets to have a donation form on it, and King's Contact Pro does all of that. We love DonorBox. We add a donation form into our website, and then they have like a one click at the end of the year, creates an output of an email to all your donors for their year-end statement. So makes it super easy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what does that cost to use that program?
DonorBox is, I think it's about 2%, and just depends on your donations. Less than $100 a month to hundreds, based on what kind of giving and how big of a program you're running.
And then they can pay.
But
They can donate via credit card and all that stuff, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very nice system. Tithely is another one. I know a lot of our leaders use Tithely. Zephy is another one. So take a look at some of these, but DonorBox is our go-to. Their YouTube channel and tutorials are amazing, and they teach you how to do fundraising and things, which I like.
And I haven't done, I've not added that to my website yet, just because of the expense and I'm still trying to get the word out there. So I couldn't justify making a monthly expenditure without having anything coming in yet. And so we're just getting that process started. So,
well, let's help you optimize the free things. So, like when you set up your YouTube channel, Jeff, maybe we should do a YouTube channel setup program someday. Just how to set up your first channel.
I would love that, because everybody tells me to do it, but I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. All right, Jeff. Yeah, that would be helpful, because then we're repurposing what's on your YouTube channel, and that's very helpful. So, okay. So that would be great. All right. I have a call right now, so I do have to get off, prepare for, but this has been great. This has been helpful. Drop a one in the comments. I've had a lot of fun. You guys gave us some great feedback. Thanks, Jeff. Give Jeff some love. Really working on this software for you guys. Awesome.
Alrighty.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, blessings. We'll see you tonight. If anybody